Hey guys, this is J77 here doing a special review. It is a movie that I recently finally got around to seeing, basically because of I had a very busy schedule throughout the whole few months, and my schedule has not gotten any lighter. But on the weekend, I took the time to look at this movie, and the movie that I saw. Take this off. It's hot. The movie that I saw was actually a film that was given to me by a friend before he moved away. Dorothy Dandridge, starring Halle Berry. Now, I might as well say this off the bat. This is a film I'm ashamed to admit never heard before. I've had this film for a few months, and like I said, a friend of mine, he was giving out his DVDs. He didn't need them. I think because he's doing streaming now, that he decided to give me some DVDs. One of the films he gave me was Annabelle 3, which I have heard and have saw. Another film was The Flocks, which is a Blockbuster video exclusive. Don't know how you got that one. And this one, which I'm showing you right now. I just saw this film about a couple of days ago, and I saw it again to take in notes about the actress and the star who she was playing. Halle Berry was playing a very famous star, one of the most influential black female actress in Hollywood back in the days. She was very influential and pretty much paved the way for all female black actress to the mainstream. A lot of great stars, Halle Berry, Angela Bassett, Whitney Houston, all pay homage to Dorothy Dandridge. Now, sadly, I didn't know who this woman is because, frankly, I wasn't looking up into the history of Dorothy Dandridge at the time. Again, they didn't taught her about history books. Most of our teachings about African Americans leaders and African American stars were very, very limited in history books. And when I heard about this, I first looked at the name Halle Berry, and then I asked myself, okay, this has to be a true story. I looked up that it was a true story, and I had two things to come in common: just watch the film and see what you think about it, or just weigh it out. I weighed it out, but only because I had other things to do. But I always kept it in mind and said, I got to see this film because this is the one film that, in all honesty, could be one of Halle Berry's best. And that says a lot because, I'm not a big fan of her movies. Not to say she's a bad actress, but I never really got into Halle Berry as a serious movie star, and that's because most of her roles, if she's not showing any parts of skin like her boobs or being in any nude scenes or any hardcore sex scene, I feel that the other movies she's getting is pretty much mediocre. And I'm getting to Monster Ball, by the way. I did not like Monster Ball. I didn't think it was that great. I know the acting was okay, but it wasn't my movie. And when she won that film for Best Actress, when she won the Academy Award for Best Actress, I was very much questioning why she won it. Did she win it because she was a very great actor in that movie, or did she win it because of the graphic sex scene that she had with Billy Bob Thornton? And a lot of people think this way, the same way. Now, don't get me wrong, I was very happy that she won the award. She was very emotional when she won the award. I think she cried for acceptance speech, which tells me a lot. I didn't think she thought she was going to win, and the fact that she won it, and the fact she was very emotional when it, I really had respect for. I always had respect for her as a star. I've seen most of her films, from an independent film, from Strictly Business, to some of her films that many people, don't regard as great films, like Catwoman and Gothica. But this very film I'm holding here, I did not know existed. And the fact is that it's an HBO film. Really, I should have known it existed, but I didn't. So I decided, let me see this film. If anything, it could be one of Halle Berry's best performances ever. And I got news for you. It's a very, very strong film. very strong casting. You had a very, very straightforward historical film here, and what made it so good about this film is that this is the first time I strongly believe that Halle Berry really commanded this film. Everybody was great, but this film really needed Halle Berry to convince me she was this character and convince me to care for this character, and she did in many levels than what anyone can possibly imagine. Um, I also like the fact that this film didn't pull any punches. This is an HBO film, but HBO is always good of balancing it when it comes to some darker scenes, and there's a lot of dark scenes. Like there's some stuff here I didn't know that was going down. The alleged physical and sexual abuse of her aunt, all the way down to her affairs and her broken marriages. She was married, I believe, twice. One of them was a abusive wife beater, which, by the way, is the only thing that has yet to been proven. A lot of people said it's not true. Some people said it was true. HBO decided to go with that route. It's pretty much up in the air whether this really happened or not. Only the people who know is Dunbridge and her ex-husband and the people around her. But HBO showed that. It shows her highs and her obstacles. It also shows her lows and her mistakes. And this film is very well done. This film is very, very well done. The film starts off as she was part of her and her sister and a friend was the Doris sisters, and they were formed at some particular clubs. And there she met her first husband, who was also a major star in the role. They had a kid, which at that point, when the child was born, um, it really hit home to me because I have a brother who suffered the same illness that her daughter faced, and seeing her, go through that difficult time brought back some very, very tough memories with me and my brother. I love my brother very much, but he also has that same situation that Dorothy Dandridge. So that definitely hit close to home just by that alone, and the fact that she ended up in the end because she went bankrupt. Dorothy Dandridge went bankrupt. She had to place her daughter in an institution because she could no longer afford to care for her. Was a very gut-wrenching situation. But she went through that. She rose to stardom by an agent, which was played by Data. I'm not kidding. Data is in this film, and he does a tremendous job. This guy his performance was very, very good. I really was convinced about this film. And she started to rise. First, doing club singer. She wanted to be a movie star, but she was getting very, very awful roles that even if she uh, was going to be successful, which they wasn't, she was not going to be looked at as a serious actress. And it went until she really started to rise up and singing in clubs and got her first major role, which is called Carmen Jones, is where she really started rose to fame. However, bad decision making, bad advice from others who were supposed to care for her, like that director who was played brilliantly by a guy I haven't seen in movies in a while. The last movie I think I've seen him in was Never Say Never. Again, that was a James Bond film. He played the legendary director. I think it's Ota. I think he's called him. So anyway, became lovers, but he also gave her bad advice that later on cost her the role because she wasn't staying in the limelight, and her stardom started dimming. Where the point is, she was going through a nervous breakdown. Um, I'm not gonna get too much away from the film, but I will say that this film is for mature audiences. This is a film that I do recommend, especially for Black History Month, to be looked at by everyone, especially for young Black females, to see one of the great actors who paved the way for a lot of other great African American actresses to follow through. Um, this was produced by Halle Berry. This was directed, I believe, by Martha Martha Coolidge. Coolidge. I gotta look up her the films that she done, but this film was very well written, very well directed. It able to do something that I think HBO has done best under their movie production. Because HBO has a very strong lineup. I mean, they really do. I give them tremendous amount of respect for their movie lineup. It's definitely on the border. Halle Berry is the star of this movie. She performed this film extremely well. She is Dorothy Dandridge, and I don't think Dorothy Dandridge. Sorry, and I don't think no one else could have done it but Halle Berry. She won a tremendous amount of awards, and probably if this film would have been a theater release, which I kind of understand why this film was considered to be a cable movie instead of a theatrical release. But if this was a movie release, I think she would have been nominated for Best Actress, because this film was so powerful and her performance was so brilliantly done, that you could make a case that this would have been nominated and probably would have won, had this been a movie theater release. But it didn't. But it doesn't mean that a lot of other awards did not recognize her performance. She won Best Actress in the Black Reel Award. She won Best Actress in a TV Movie in the Golden Globes. She was nominated in other in Screen Actors Guild, and it's all well deservedly so. She really paid homage and paid respect to a legend that is still talked about today in Hollywood. This is a very deep film, very sad film, very tragic film, and it is displayed all in well balance in this movie. I guess the only complaint about this film is that it's such in good pace. Sometimes it doesn't give you time to breathe. A lot of stuff is happening, and it's happening in a very fast pace. And sometimes the darker parts of the movie can be gripping, because this, like I said, the scene with the aunt basically assaulting Dorothy Dandridge, that was heart wrenching, and it affected her throughout the rest of her life. She really had problems when it came to sex and being, sexually involved with her partners, and it really showed it very well in this movie. Her decision in terms of men in general was also affected by how the aunt treated her, and as well as her struggling to be with families, yet at the same time trying to balance her career. The film really depicted her as a person who, after I think Carmen Jones, really didn't know where to go from there, and that was largely because of some of the roles she was picking, some of the people who was going on her ear. That really showed up in this film. Another thing I also want to talk about this movie, and it's very important, is that, as you know, I don't want to give too much away, but you also know that Dorothy Dandridge died tragically, and it definitely shows in this movie. To this day, there's really no set answer to what really happened. Did she OD'd, or was it a case of suicide? And it's brought up brilliantly here. I ended up having to look up a lot of places to find out some information regarding that. And like I said, it's pretty much up in the air. Nobody really truly knows. The cops have changed it a couple of times, and so it's really doesn't really explains truthfully of what really happened. One thing this does explain, that pretty much everybody says she did die of a drug overdose, basically I think from painkillers. But again, it definitely shows how that road from beginning to end, of her rise and a sad fall, and the comeback that never really happened. Like I said, if you can able to deal with the darker side of this movie, which is a lot, it's definitely worth watching. It's definitely a 4-star film. It's definitely a film that that gets my respect, and I kind of wish I heard about this film sooner, or from some shape or form, because this is a film that I think that everybody should see. I know a lot of people like saying, "Oh, it's always a must see." No, this is a film that's educational value. I think it should be shown. I think it should be mentioned. And after seeing this film, after seeing this movie, and even though you don't want to see the film, look up Dorothy Dandridge. Look up her history. Look it up either by internet, or you can go to the library and do some research on this person, because this is a person that should not be forgotten, and should be remembered by people all ages, and constantly talked about for people all ages, because she played a very important part of black women, and basically black actors in general, to get more better roles in movies. I just wish that sometimes they take advantage of that instead of making some films that is basically useless for anyone. But again, that's my own opinion on that. But this is a great film. I wanted to bring it out. And again, the only reason why it's not a flashback review, because I know this film is old. I think it came out, I believe, 1992, I think. 92, I'm pretty sure. But like I said, this is a film that I just saw. It's not a film that I saw before, and just decided to rehash it to see if it's had memory. This is a fresh view of this movie, and I'm kind of glad that I actually got this movie in my hands. I will recommend it to everybody in this, and those who, for those who are very strong on African American history, as well as just movie making in general, because this is a great movie. I went too long with this. I do apologize for that, but again, I do recommend this, especially comes African American History Month. That's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys seen this film, let me know what you think about it. If you liked it, didn't like it, and give me a reason why you like it, didn't like it, or just tell me your favorite moments and movies that you like, based that Dorothy Dandridge had played. Little hint: I will be looking forward to seeing Carmen Jones. I want to see that film. I'm going to be tracking that film down, and if I get it before the end of February, I will post a review on it and give my own take about the film. Until then, this is J77 saying, take care.